Right. Good afternoon, everyone. As I was just saying to Mitch, make sure everyone has buckled their seatbelts. Make sure you have your seat in the upright position. Make sure your trade tables are up because it is going to be a bumpy landing today into the close. We are heading basically just straight down right now for the last hour or so, a little more than that. So we've got a lot to discuss here, Mitch. Oh no, he put the red on. He put the red background on. That's a buy signal. I don't know what that means actually. So we're here for you. It's at the close. Let's do this, Mitch. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, let's go to a 1 minute chart, man. Not a 1 minute chart, a 15-minute chart. And this is the SPY. You can see it basically straight down, basically all afternoon. Not quite. I would say really the last hour or so, hour and a half ish. No fight, Mitch. We saw this yesterday too, but it was a much shorter term thing. But just no fight right now. We were straight green all morning and everything. What happened?
It was looking good. It was looking good. I mean, I think a good chart to look at is Apple. It was just literally the same thing that we've been seeing, right? It was looking great. Apple was going to recover 170. We were going to get back into the bullish, and then 1 p.m. hit, and then it was just like, is there even buyers in this market?
I mean,
after 1 p.m., I mean, it didn't seem like anybody was willing to hit the buy button.
You can look at this watch list that I have up. This is I just keep this open throughout the day, like all day. It's got every sector, every index, and it was straight green. It was 100% green at noon, and now we're looking like we're going to go red on everything today. I mean, let's go to ARKK. ARKK, what a freaking reversal! You thought, hey, ARKK, we're having a day. Nope. We're probably going red today in ARKK, to be honest with you guys. So this is going to be straight red by the end of the close here. And then on the crypto front, I want to bring up the crypto heat map because that was also straight green again this morning, and we've got some red. It is mostly green here. Again, this is on a rolling 24-hour basis, so the percentage gains have gone down, but we're still mostly green. But this is going to get to be more red as the hours go on. So it's just been a rough afternoon. I guess the takeaway, whoever said it in chat is right. Patrick Benzinga, we can't stop streaming because when we do,
that's what happens.
This is what happens. So let's start with the big headline of the day, Mitch, which is of course.
Peloton. Poor Joel. That's what this is.
Okay, so we knew something bad was going to happen because whenever Joel or Dennis go out of town, something bad always happens. Or I shouldn't say bad, if something big happens. I thought maybe the Activision Microsoft deal, that was going to be it for the week, but that was on Tuesday. Wow, it literally is crazy how every time they leave, something happens. Today, Peloton dropped on this report from CNBC that they're halting production due to demand issues. This is just absolutely brutal. Joel doesn't, as I said on Benzinga Live, Joel does not deserve to be made fun of. He does not deserve to be laughed at. This was a stock he wanted to sell. Probably he wanted to sell this thing like 2 years ago. Not quite 2 years ago. He wanted to sell this thing in like the summer of 2020. And he didn't because we all know why. So if anything, he just deserves our sympathy. And that's all I can really say about it, Mitch. I mean, Aaron and I are respectively getting on the takeover potential here. That's probably what you're gonna have to do right now. But it's ugly. It's so ugly.
Definitely ugly. I mean, this is exactly what you didn't want to hear. And I mean, one of those situations where the story gets bad and then it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, some people made some money buying the dip today in Peloton. That was a short-lived thing, though. It was a short-lived dip, but hey, there was a dip. If you were buying, if you came in at 23, you could have ridden this thing up a few dollars. But we are now back flirting with new lows of the day here. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this is one that I'd start looking for what the Gil Morales undercut and rally, right? So let's start looking for an IPO cut down below, let's say 21 is what I would be looking for. If we look back, when did IPO exactly?
Wait a minute. That's a good call out there, Mitch. So I don't know what the price was. Oh, wait, was it a direct listing?
I think it was.
No, it wasn't. I was confused Peloton and Palantir. Palantir was a direct listing. Peloton was not. What was the IPO price? We can go into Pro and look for this real.
Yeah, let's look it up.
I'll show you how to do it in Pro. You go to a news feed, you search for ticker Peloton, you filter your categories, you go to news, you go to IPOs. Every IPO category, every IPO headline as it pertains to Peloton here. Look, it took 2 seconds to scroll back 2 years. What do we got? IPO price $29, opened at 27. That was a bad omen. Anyway, if we can go back to the chart here, so IPO price 29, open at 27. We're at 24 now. So basically, almost everybody who's bought this thing on the public markets is underwater. If you held the entire way,
nope,
almost everyone's underwater here. I don't know what to say, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know what to say either. I mean, one thing I would say is what was Peloton's strategy, right, in the pandemic? I think they turned to a point where they wanted to make it more than just the bike, right? You saw the treadmill, then the treadmill kind of had that failure that kind of ruined it. But one thing that Peloton was trying to do was change it to not just be let's say, just the bike, but also the subscription service, right? You can do other workouts. You can do like yoga. You can do like straight building workouts. They tried to change it to more of this kind of personal trainer subscription model type. And I talked about how Peloton was really trying to make the personal trainers that were at home, that couldn't be training people in the gym. They were bringing them at home and giving them the avenue to get to the customer by doing these kind of at remote workouts. I think they were trying to change the whole entire feel of the consumer, that the consumer didn't need to go back to the gym to get the personal training that they usually do get at the gyms. I think this is where the story went wrong, and people are still willing to go back to the gyms and get personal training in person versus over remote.
Yeah, I guess there are a lot of implications to this deal, Mitch. Your body, man.
That body.
It's a dollar. Body's a dollar right now,
dude. And the crazy part about this one was that this was public at one point, right? And then it came back. Oh, and I don't think it's gonna be public for too much longer.
No, it wasn't. Was it really? I didn't know that.
I think this is one of those that went private and then came back and then went private.
That's brutal, just brutal.
But anyway, yeah, beach body, no.
Anyway, we're having some other implications from the Peloton headline. Garmin is down today off of Peloton. It's kind of the same idea, right? Fitness trends. So that Garmin has like connected fitness products like this. So Garmin down. What's Affirm down? You can see that big red candle that was right off Peloton there because people finance Pelotons through Affirm. So, yeah, just absolutely brutal stuff. It's not all Joel's fault, G God. So to give cut Joel some slack. A, he's not here to defend himself, and B, this was not. He called this. He talked against his own book and he called it. So, yeah, Travis,
you need SPY levels. We've been given the SPY levels on live trading with Benzinga to the key.
Yeah. Okay.
To the key.
So here, let's go here. If Joel were here, what would he say? He would say, well, he doesn't look at the chart so much as he's got his like table with all his levels on it.
Yeah.
Wow. I really don't. Let's go to a weekly on SPY. We have anything on the SPY weekly? What's that close there? You've got to close at 445 from mid-October. A couple of closes there actually in the 445 area, but it's not super specific. By the way, Joel always gives specific levels. Levels, like I think the best way to use levels is to give them a buffer, right? So if you have a specific, price point in mind, give it a buffer of 20, 30, 50 cents in some cases, right? And like let that be I'm more into the idea of ranges than I am into specific levels. That's just kind of how I look at it tomorrow. Oh, easy, Mike. Thanks. Tomorrow's the third Friday of the month. So it's triple witching. Thanks for the reminder. I did forget.
Ouchie.
Anyway,
you're gonna get some fireworks tomorrow for sure.
How's the Russell looking? Absolutely dead. It's looking like dead money. This is so ugly, so gross. On the Russell, so we have a gap here from literally a year ago, January 5th to January 6th, and we have a gap in like the what's that, like the 199 to like 196 area. I mean, so your low of last year was on January 6th. I'm sorry, that wasn't your low of the year, but it was your low of like once you had this gap up. And the low was 199. We're at 202 right now. Fall through that, and we're talking next thing we're talking about 190 or 195. So I mean, I know a lot of people scoff at the moving averages. I like them. We had a bearish moving average crossover here. Never a great thing. Dion, I don't think Joel likes to do anything when he's not in front of his computer.
Yeah, no, he's not that type of guy. He's not the type of guy being out of control. He likes to be in control. So I highly doubt he took a short position on the overall market. But it's interesting. The SPY actually is coming closer to on the daily. If you look at the daily, we're actually coming closer to that 200-day moving average. So as we watch that, that'll be the day that if we get under this, let's say the 200-day moving average, that's when you really got to get concerned. If the SPY can get underneath, let's say this 441 level, that's when you really got to start thinking bear territory there for the SPY, not only correction.
Well,
you're talking recession, right?
You're on a daily. I'm on a daily too. This actually looks like a pretty important point here. This 449 area, because we had a series of lows there in December. We
tried to crack on the 1st of December, the 2nd of December, and also on the 3rd of December. The first one was on the 1st, it was 450.29. The second was 450.31. And then that third, we went down to 448.92, but we recovered and actually closed up to 453. So I think we need to get back above 450. If we can't get it back above that, no, I'm not feeling that good about the market.
For whatever it's worth, 431 in SPY, that would be a 10% correction from the all-time high. We're obviously not that close to that. Though at the rate we're going, who knows? We are seeing absolutely no fight here. No fight. I would love to see some sell imbalances. We have sell imbalances. I bet you we do. Nothing. Oh, let's see a buy imbalance from 10 minutes ago. I'm sure that's interesting. But very little fight here. This is a 1 minute chart on the SPY. Very little fight into the close. Look at that. Look at that volume. People or algorithms are getting the heck out of here right now. It's that's what it feels like right now. It's just relentless. BT, thanks for the reminder. We should talk Netflix for a second here, Mitch, because they do report after the close tonight. Conference call scheduled for 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm trying to figure out if Benzinga should restream that or not. But I gave you some numbers this morning. The expected move on Netflix for this week is the implied move is 8.2%, which comes out to like $48 ish, somewhere in that range. So they're going to report tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of like sympathy bounce overnight. But frankly, regardless of what the numbers are, this is not a good day to report earnings. So I would be inclined to sell any rip in Netflix if it gets any rip overnight, because this doesn't feel good right now. Elite Trading is saying Unity. They don't report tonight, do they? That would freak me out because they're not on my calendar. No, Unity's in 2 weeks. Okay, thanks for scaring me there.
Yeah,
so anyway,
I mean Netflix I think is going to come out with the tale of the story of two tales. I think you're going to hear the positive about what happened with the Squid Games, right?
Sure.
You're going to hear those comments. You're going to hear, hey, we had an insane amount of people watch that. But I think you're going to also see what slowdown of subscriptions. And where I think it matters the most is not into United States subscriptions, but international, right? Is that growth slowing down? I think that's the number you got to look out for. If their international growth isn't growing as fast as they need it to be, I think that's what keeps Netflix going, right? It's been going into different markets, the Latin American market. It's even working its way into South America, Europe. All of them are getting access. I think that's where you kind of watch for their continued growth.
The
price increase, they'll mention that.
Yeah. I'm very curious to hear if they have a comment on their video game ambitions, especially in the wake of the Microsoft Activision deal. I'm sure they'll get asked about that and whether they're looking to make any acquisitions on that front. But price increase is obviously, a good thing for the business. It's only $1. It's not going to change the world. But the chart itself looks pretty ugly. Let's see.
I'm mentioning a good comment here that maybe there is international growth because Europe's been locked down, right?
So if you've been following Netflix for a while, you know that they've been basically for the last 3 years now, it seems like they've been trying to point everyone to look at Europe because the subscribers, the growth in the U.S. is not there. Frankly, they're they're saturated as heck. There's really nowhere else for them to grow in the United States. So they've been pointing everyone over to Europe for years and saying, look over here. We're growing in Europe. Because in the United States, there is no more room for them to grow. They've got it. They've got it all, basically. Not all of it, but almost all of it for all intents and purposes. So, maybe we get some good European growth. I'll be honest, I have not even bothered to look at what the estimates are for their new subscribers, for their earnings per share, for their revenue. I'm not really going to. I think the implied move is more important, and I said 8%. So we're talking $45-ish on the upside or downside. So we're talking, 500 and we'll just call it 555 is a nice round number on the upside, and 465 give or take on the downside for potential moves for the stock after hours. Master of Songs, I never actually got around to watching that episode. I probably should. Okay, I'm just looking at the market here, and again, we are still steady parade downward. But out to a SoFi. SoFi's having a great day today, Mitch. This one caught me off guard.
Yeah, it caught me off guard too. I was thinking that maybe it would turn around. I mean, it kind of did, but I mean, it did really break out more than I thought it would. Going up to a high of the day of all the way up there. Well, we got a high candle of 1647. And we were watching this, and this is shout out to my man Ryan Faluna. He was actually calling this out for a positive move right out the gates. He was looking for a move above 1450, going towards 15. But man, this one did go up there to 16. I think you're just getting sideways time, right? I mean, this doesn't look bad. I think the big thing for SoFi had always been that like $13 area. We only went pretty much one day in that $13 area, which is this candle right here. As long as that low of that candle holds, I'd be bullish SoFi. Even though I earlier was calling that SoFi could potentially come to 10, a lot of that was based off the monthly. And the monthly gave us a nice little wick down there. So as long as we don't get a close down there, we're still looking good.
And then I noticed this trend today, Mitch. And I'll be honest, I haven't looked to see why, but something must have gone down in the RV sector here.
Yeah, what is going
Maybe we
on
should
there?
check. Maybe we should check the pro. But I'm going to bring up 3 charts at the same time. I'm going to bring up Winnebago. I'm going to bring up Camping World, CWH, and I'm going to do THO, Thor. Do these all together here.
Ooh.
Look at the days we're having today in all 3 of these guys. And again, I understand the market is down. I get that. But they're all down more than the market, okay?
Yeah, 9%, all of them. Oh, more than 9%. So.
Yeah. It's pretty ugly. Do we have news here? Let's go to the news feed. Let's check THO, and then we'll do CWH, and then we'll do WGO.
It's interesting because even like, let's say it's not as bad, but Mastercraft, Hog are still down also. It's all recreational vehicles.
Okay. I hadn't looked at it. Let's add Hog. What was the other one you said?
You could do Mastercraft, MCFT. That's the boater or Malibu boats, if you wanted, whichever one.
Yeah. Wait. What's Malibu boats again? I'm sorry.
That's MBUU. Thank you.
Yeah. They're all down more than the whole market today. Although, like I can't get this market chart. I can't stop staring at it because we're just broke below 40.
It just keeps going. It's leaking.
It literally
man.
just keeps going.
Dude, I'm gonna try to help the market.
I don't know. I don't know if that'll help. Honestly,
I don't know, man. But hey, who knows, man? Maybe if I change it to green, we could stop going down.
Here, let me take a couple of these off, and I want to just go to some dailies here on these 3: Winnebago, Camping World, and Thor. Just huge. There must have been some.
They had great runs in 2021, right? All 3 of them.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah,
2020.
2021 was okay, but just a brutal day for these three names. There was probably some. I don't know, maybe like an investor day or somewhere. I don't know what the news is, but I'm sure there is news here because you don't often see all 3 of these names down like this, and they're all down together. Anyway, I wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Anything in the chat you guys are watching right now? Yesterday we talked about gold. Let's just do a follow-up look at gold real fast.
Yeah.
GOLD. Hey! No.
Sideways day, right?
We're holding up, down 1%, which I guess...
I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, we saw gold, move? It went like a 7% move yesterday. So 1% like retrace. That's not bad.
Yeah, yesterday gold was Barry Gold was up over 8%, 8.5%. So today we're just, cooling off a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but I don't know.
You know what I can tell you?
What?
The market breadth indicator, man.
Terrible.
SMA 200 is now 67%.
Dude, I told you we were going to be all red in my watch list here. We are about to be ARKK's. ARKK just basically went red. We're up 3 cents. We just went flat on the day, so now 2 cents. We're gonna end up closing red in ARKK. XLU is up a quarter right now. This entire screen was green 3 hours ago.
7 out of 10 stocks, if you look at the NYC and NASDAQ, are going to be in bear territory. That is not a good deal. Yeah. And it's not going in the right direction. It's going in the opposite. It keeps getting worse and worse.
I've been pretty firm in the camp of like sideways chop for the year. But at a certain point you have to start to reconsider some things. This is making me I don't want to overreact to any one day, but this is seriously concerning, right? Because we literally just
what is this?
We can hold. So we're used to. Let's go to the SPY. We are used to seeing in the last couple of months, the SPY makes some gains. It goes up for 1, 2, 3 days. It gives it back. It goes up for a week. It gives it back. What I'm not used to seeing is it rips higher for a morning, and we can't even hold those gains now. So I am concerned.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that. We got a mention in the chat about iFit.
What? Oh, IFIT?
Yeah, I was looking for the stock.
What the hell is
what
that?
happened to this? I don't know. I can't get data on it either. But
yeah, I can't. There's no data on that, so I
Nordic Track, right? We'll keep an eye out on that. I'm not sure what happened to the stock there on iFit, but I think probably the deal fell through or something like that. We'll see what happens there. Definitely the SPY. It doesn't want to hold on, guys. We're down to 446 now, almost 446 50s. Down to the 40s.
This is honestly, and I'm not trying to be sensationalist or over exaggerate, and I know there's some recency bias, but this honestly feels like one of the worst closes I can ever remember. Maybe at least going back the last couple of years, because my memory is admittedly not the best. But we're going straight down. We have not had a green and 15-minute bar in the SPY since 1:30. Oh my gosh. It's been 2.5 hours. We had a green 15-minute bar in the SPY. Oh my goodness. George, does it feel like January or December? Because that makes a big difference in 2008. Emily, this is worse than yesterday. Let's be real here. This is way worse than yesterday.
Yeah. What I would say is, like, just pay attention to the channel, right? The channel's starting to break. And when the channel breaks, you're going to look for resistance, right? And for the SPY, you can see this bottom red line. That's the channel coming on up. If we get closer and closer, what do we see? We see a breakdown of the channel, and then today, a rejection from that channel. That's not a good sign, because we actually went up to break back into the channel. We got towards 458, but couldn't get above that 460, reject that line, and now closing towards the bottom of that candle. That's technically as bad as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not trying to put too much weight into any one day. All days are equal. Obviously, the current day is always the most important day, but all days are worth the same in the grand scheme of things. And I'm not trying to panic here, but there's nothing here to make you feel any good. And we are holding on by a thread in the one green sector of the day, XLU, your only sector that is up. It's up 8 cents right now. Everything else it's gonna close green, go close red at the rate we're going here. So hey, your VXX ripping, right? Volatility ripping, your VXX ripping.
Man,
that's what you got. You got your inverse sector ETFs, your FAZs of the world, your SPLX. Is that SPL? What is it? SP.
This is
what's the direction? SPXS, SPXS. Yeah, ripping your any bearish ETF.
Any bearish
ripping right now. So, gosh.
One thing to call out here, and I think this is
thank you, Tiny. You at UVXY.
This is something to definitely talk about, is that be careful out there, guys, catching the knives. I'm seeing so many people they keep trying to catch the knives. I stopped doing that game. I was trying to do it earlier, like going into January 1st, but after this and the way that we're seeing the market, I'm just not trying to catch stocks that are getting down and down and down. Those are not the area where you want to be looking. Falling knives are not what you want to catch when the market itself is falling.
All right, let's run through real quickly under a minute a list of bearish ETFs. Not a comprehensive list, just a list. So we just ran through a couple. UVXY, VXX, WEBS is one. You can go FAZ, your inverse banks. You can go DRV, your inverse real estate. DRV, come on, Spencer. DRV, your inverse real estate. You've got, what else? I'm going through here. HIBS, your inverse high beta. You've got SOXS, your inverse semis. These are all going to be higher, obviously, right? They go opposite. But TECS, inverse technology. And then again, your SPXS is your inverse S&P. These are all inverse leverage funds. UVXY, VXX are probably your go-tos as well. But we are 5 seconds away from the close here. Where's my watch list? Okay. ARKK just closed up by, was it a dime? Did it close up by a dime? Good job. So Wow, that's a relief that that's over, because that was absolutely brutal to watch.
That was
Like, not
brutal.
even like I'll be honest with you guys. Like, part of me is I'm like sort of here. Like, I'm invested in like long bias, but I'm also like here for the show. And at a certain point, it becomes like not fun anymore, and like that kind of thing was like borderline, like not fun to watch. That was just like insane.
Yeah. I mean, no, I like to call shorts out, but at the end of the day, no one likes to see the market just fall like this, and it just goes to show, you got to be careful out there, guys. I don't think this is the time. And another thing is the market just getting ahead of itself here for interest rates, and then eventually when that happens, we catch the bottom. That's the only thing I can kind of start like looking forward to is maybe the market's just pricing it all in and it's getting ahead of itself, and we're getting that interest rate kind of correction here, but definitely not looking like we're going to close and at least even catch a bounce here. That's QQQ still pushing on its way up.
What I do know is that Benzinga's Cannabis Insider Show is going live right now. We're going to end our stream, redirect to those guys, everyone. We will catch you tomorrow, hopefully bouncing a little bit. Hopefully. We don't know, though. We don't know. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. Have a good rest of your day.